Hey, what's up, YouTube? I am back with a video I did not think I'd be back with. This is a very random video. There's going to be... I don't know. Well, let's just roll with it and we'll see what happens. I bought this a while ago just to have... It's not... I don't like featuring mainlines too much, but... There's a huge paint flaw on the trunk. Big old glob of paint. I mean, that thing is huge. So that'll go into the mainline collection, which I don't add to very often anymore. Also, what else? This truck came as basically an extra in a trade from Panic Fan 77, and I took it out of the packaging. It's a beautiful truck, and I'm not sure if I'm going to throw this one on a lifted base or not. I might just keep a two-wheel drive example of it. I do actually, if you guys want to see what it looks like when you base swap it, this is the same exact truck. Same exact casting, same release, the wild card. It just is on a different base, and then I took the plow off of a actually, you may or may not believe this, but the plow came off of this Studebaker. So the plows are universal. They'll screw right into those, which all the pickup trucks have those. So you can put the snowplow on one of the Cameos, or you can put it on the F-150 or F-100 or the Studebaker, basically any truck. So, and what's cool about the lifted base is they compensate for the suspension lift where the snowplow goes in, and they haven't even released a lifted truck with a snowplow on the front. But the fact that they did that tells you that they just wanted to have it ready just in case. So at some point they probably will have this truck come out with a snowplow. But there's no Mickey Mousing going on with it, no super glue. It's all M2 parts and they're all screwed in. The only thing that's not M2 is the toolbox, which I have to attach, and I popped that off of the green light truck. But anyways, that is the result of a base swap on these trucks. So you can see why I'm such a huge fan of it, because it just looks 100 times better. I mean, even this truck, if I took the blade off the front, it's still a beast, badass looking truck. So I prefer all of my F-100s on a lifted base. So who knows? The new one that's out, the step side, has white wheels. So that would be a good base to swap with this. So if I come across that truck again, I might pick it up and just swap the base on it. This thing is nice, man. The doors close up real nice. You know, that's always a crapshoot with the M2 stuff. But the truck that I have actually lines up as good, if not better, so, you know, pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to crack a green machine here in this video, but I went to Walmart tonight. I saw Champion DJK's video last week or whatever. I didn't realize that these were the same until after I already got it and opened it. I've already opened this, but I'm going to take it out of the package. So I'm not a toy collector per se. I do collect diecast, 1/64 scale diecast. However, my desk at work is all pop culture. It's decorated with just action figures, little like replica video game consoles, vinyl figures, just anything pop culture. Superman, Batman, Breaking Bad, all that kind of stuff. And you can find little figures like these at the Dollar Tree. But what's really cool about these, they are this weighs as probably, I would say probably as much as this, maybe even more. It actually probably weighs more than the car. I have a scale in my office. I should go. I'm not gonna. Okay, so before my next video, I'll weigh these two just to compare. But these things are heavy, and they have pretty cool metallic paint. I mean, they're not the most detailed because they're pretty small. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, they were like 97 cents, I think, a piece. And so being a collector of pop culture, for that price, I figured, I figured that I would just grab a few, so I did. So that's the only Street Fighter one I got. I got some DC. These are called, they're made by Jada, or if you're Canadian, Jada Toys, and they're called Nano Metal Figs. They're pretty legit. I mean, they are substantial. They're not like action figures. They don't articulate or anything like that. But for static display, I could also see these being used as gaming pieces. I mean, that's just a chunk of metal right there. Could probably melt these down into bullets, like Mel Gibson in The Patriot. So there's Batman. So this is the first time, I think I have around 400 videos on my channel. And this is the first time I've done anything like this outside of diecast cars. So, but there will be diecast in this video. So this thing is sweet. This is the Flash. Now they don't all have this metallic paint. And I think I kind of actually only went for the figures that did. The Flash is sick looking. Now that's an awesome looking little figurine. Okay, so I got two more here. This was the only one of these I could find. And there was a whole bunch. I think they had just stocked up. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with these because they're so cheap. Like, after opening one and seeing how heavy and substantial it is, I was kind of like wishing I would have bought all of them. So I might go back tomorrow because I might just go back to get all of them. I don't know. These will be going on my desk at work. But here's the Joker. This is the only Joker that I could find, and there were probably 3 or 4 pegs that were full front to back. So I don't know, this is way out of my wheelhouse. Although I am a fan of this guy here, Superman. So, yeah, it's definitely out of the norm for me. But I want to see what other stuff they come out with because, you know, I don't collect toys, but if Funko will come out with a pretty cool mystery mini series, then I'll buy some. Like I bought some of the Breaking Bad, I bought some of the sci-fi and Walking Dead. I noticed today they just came out with the Cat in the Hat, or it might be a Dr. Seuss. Also, the Funko Pop figures, I'll buy those. I'm real picky about those ones that I buy. Like, I remember I was at Barnes & Noble. This was probably 5 years ago. And they had 2 or 3 Tupacs and 2 or 3 Biggies. And I friggin' left them. And I kicked myself for doing that. Because those are like $300 a piece now. And they were $10. You know, I could have spent $60 and turned it into whatever, 1800. But so because of that, I'm real picky about those. Another example is my favorite movie of all time is Big Lebowski. If it's not my favorite, it's up. It's hard to pick a favorite, but it's like top 3. And I bought Walter because that. Walter is my favorite character in any movie ever. That I can say with certainty. The dialogue in that movie from his character, in my opinion, is the funniest, best acted character and dialogue ever in a movie. Now that's a stretch and it's subjective and it's my opinion. But I just think he played the character amazing. And it was just a great movie. So I bought Walter because of that. Because he's got his little bowling bag and he's got his big 1980s eyeglasses. And anyways, I paid $10 and it's like a $60 piece right now. So you never know with those. Now, granted, I think back then they were making a lot less of them than they are now. And I only have probably 6 of those. So I don't buy a lot, but I bought Donald Trump, about a couple of those. They were sold out of Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders when I got the Trump, which I don't know if I would have bought those anyways, but who knows, you know? That one's around $20, $25 now. So, you know, you just never know with this kind of stuff. But for these selling for $1, I guess it's all going to depend on how many they make. That's going to be the real factor as far as the value goes. But it could be one of those things where they don't sell and they just scrap them, you know? Okay, so I am going to crack a green machine here, I have decided. You all probably know which one it is because it's the only mint on card green machine in my collection. And really, I just need the toolbox for the diorama. I couldn't sell this car for what I'd want to get out of it, so I'm just going to crack it open and throw it into the green machine collection and have a nice little toolbox for the diorama. These older green light cars are pretty tough to find. The regular ones are pretty tough to find, let alone the green machines. But they are out there. The production on it's they're no more rare than the stuff being made today. It's just that they're harder to find. Wow, that is some very weird packaging from Greenlight. very different than how they package the stuff today. The toolbox is pretty awesome. I have some 1:64 scale toolboxes. I have a Johnny Lightning, and I have a couple of Greenlight. I have the Greenlight Gas Monkey. I have a Hot Wheels. I have to say, I think of all of them, this Greenlight one here looks the most realistic. So that's pretty cool. Now, the car is straight up dope. Come on, hood. I can tell you want to open. There we go. It's a nice looking little engine. So, there you go. What year was this? 1970 Dodge Charger RT. So it is a pretty nice detailed engine. The chrome air cleaner, painted radiator, orange Mopar orange engine block. The hood closes up real nice, real snug. Check out that front end. The interior on this thing is a cool color. It's like a red color. The dash looks kind of goofy to me, though. It looks like it rides up that windshield quite a bit. I don't know if that's normal. There's the tail end. Dude, that is a pretty awesome looking car. It rolls freaking amazing. Such a smooth rolling car. Man, that looks good. And then here you go. Boom. So it's an older Greenlight casting. You can see the copyright date is 2007, but if you look, the way to always tell if it's back when Greenlight was making much better quality, just look at the post on the front of the casting. If it's green, regardless of whether it's a green machine or not, if that post is green, there was so much more metal used in those castings back then that, for example, if I were to go get the latest 1970 Charger that came out in the last muscle release or whatever, you could just do this and you'd be able to hear the quality difference. I think they took a lot of the metal out of the base. They just made it a thinner base, and they make like these little rattling sounds as you roll them around, whereas the old ones like this are just solid and smooth. I love the color on this thing. This is a really nice looking car. I never would have known how nice it was, how nice it is, had I not cracked it. So the date on, or the copyright on the packaging is 2008. So it's an old Greenlight car. I do like that casting. That is dope. It weighs about as much as 2 of these figures. this out. I mean, that gives you an idea. I don't know if these are like made out of pewter or what the metal is. Doesn't really say. But these will be pretty cool little pop culture things for my desk. But anyways, so I know that's a very random video for the channel. I haven't cracked a Greenie in a while. That's dope. Don't be fooled by a blank tag either. That does not mean it's a pre-production sample. So if you see one on eBay and somebody's trying to sell it that way, don't buy it. That is not the case. It can be the case. You know, occasionally that is the case, but usually it's not. Usually it's just a mistake. Pre-production samples are extremely rare, and with Greenlight, it's usually stamped on the windshield. So, I don't know, a lot of people do that, or they'll say pre-production prototype Hot Wheels car or Matchbox car. Okay, that's a lie too, so be careful when you buy that kind of stuff. Pre-production prototype cars from Mattel, whether it's Hot Wheels or Matchbox, are going to be cast in resin. So if it's a metal casting and they're telling you it's a pre-production prototype, they're lying to you. But if it's resin, then you know that it's probably legit. And I'm sure that there probably are exceptions to that, but you know, I'm not the foremost expert on that kind of stuff. But just be careful when you buy that kind of stuff. And also, oh yeah, okay, so if any of you are still watching, which I know you probably not, but if you are, I want to strike up a conversation about this car right here. So I posted it up in a local Diecast group that I'm in. And what I'm thinking, and this is going to be the point of the conversation, this car right here from Greenlight is a 2009 Chevy Corvette C6 R. In my opinion, this right here is the nicest 1:64 scale Corvette. I'm going to specify or narrow it down a little bit. Late model Corvette, okay, post 2000 that I've ever seen. So if any of you think that there's a nicer late model Corvette in this scale than this, it can be any brand. It can be the Auto World Callaway Corvette. It can be the Hot Wheels Super Treasure Hunt, which, by the way, doesn't even come close to comparing to this. If you know of any other brand, maybe Johnny Lightning has one. I don't know. But that's what I want the conversation to be. So comment below. Who makes the nicest 1:64 scale late model Corvette? Because in my opinion, I just found it right here with this. This thing is so nice. It's unbelievable how nice this car is. It's incredibly sick. I mean, it's hard to tell it's a Greenlight. It looks more like who makes those cars? It's not CM's, it's not Kyosho. Although I think Kyosho might do a little bit of it. I forget the name of the company, but that's what the brand that this kind of reminds me of. But notice what they did on the base. No detail on the base. I wish they would do that with all of their cars and make all of their cars this awesome. But no detail down here, and then just make the car sick. That would be dope. But then they have cars like this, where they do a little bit of a detailed base, but then you're still getting a sick car. Problem with black is you always get fingerprints on it. And it doesn't focus. So, I don't know. I'm just, you know, I've always collected green light. It's really what kind of got me started back collecting a few years ago. Just because I love the detailed stuff and Johnny wasn't making anything at the time. So it was all green light. And then as I got more advanced into collecting, I put all the domestic stuff on hold and went hard at the import stuff. So Tomica Limited Vintage, Kyosho, all of that kind of stuff, Konami. And I went a long time without buying green light. And so I'm just now kind of getting back into it the last few weeks. And I really love what they've been putting out. They've been putting out some awesome stuff. So, and they got more awesome stuff on the way with the A-Team van, and I don't know, there's like the Christmas Vacation motorhome. That's going to be awesome. And what else do they have coming out? Oh, the mail truck. Just, it's not the big box truck like I have it right here. It's not this. This is not the one I'm talking about. They actually are bringing out the mail truck that I don't know what the name of it is, but it's basically the same one that Matchbox brought out, but it's going to be a green light version of it, so it's going to be a lot more detailed. So that'll be cool. And they have some other new toolings from the Big Lebowski. What was that car? That was like a Ford. It was a big four-door. I forget what that kind of car that was, but anyway, so they're coming out with some cool stuff. So, all right, well, now I'm rambling, and I just took what should have been an 8-minute video and turned it into a 30-minute video, which probably doesn't matter because I know no one's probably watching anyways, so I could just sit here and talk to myself, but I got to get to bed. So, ladies and gentlemen, you all have a great night. Hopefully you enjoyed cracking a chase car. Let us not forget that we looked at those. You have to admit, for $1, for 95 cents, they look pretty good. If they were little molded plastic pieces of junk, then yeah, I could see nothing to get excited about. But they're big chunks of metal, man. Big chunks of metal. So, alright, well, I got stuff showing up tomorrow, so I will holler at you all tomorrow with another video. That video is going to consist of only diecast, so stay tuned for that. And go out and get yourselves some awesome green light or Johnny Lightning or M2 or Auto World, but stay away from the Hot Wheels and Matchbox on your next purchase. Treat yourself to a nice detailed car, and I will holler at the next one. So have a good night.